Yo, we are 18 days away from Cosmoverse Dubai, the 4th edition already of the Cosmoverse conference, which is crazy to think about. We started in 2021 in Lisbon, and we did Medellin in 2022, Istanbul last year, and this year we are in Dubai. The whole conference this year is tailored around specific verticals, which we call Cosmoverse tracks. There's going to be a Bitcoin track, an RWA track, Interchain, DeFi, AppChain, ZK, you name it. We have a lot of different tracks and well over 120 speakers. We have different stages. We're gonna have a retail stage that will also be live streamed. We're gonna have a developer stage, a bunch of workshop rooms, and an executive launch for the first time this year, and a stacked lineup. Also, Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni, who is going to do the opening speech talking about the transformation of Dubai into what it became over the past 20 years, and a look also into the future. Guy and Nick from Coinbureau. We also have Sandeep, co-founder of Polygon. JP from Mantra is going to be there. Enterprise participation from Deutsche Telekom. Lily is going to be our MC for this year. Ren is going to be there. The Crypto Banter fam is also coming to Dubai. JP, the founder of Thorchain. Mustafa, founder of Celestia. And it's just a stacked lineup, to be honest. Also, Anthony from Alizero. And the further you scroll down, you'll see more and more big names. Mert is coming. Josh, the president of the Interchain Foundation, is going to be there. Shane Yoda, who's going to host a panel on modularity. Carol, the founder of Union. Ripple, we also have participating, as well as Cardano engineers. And there's going to be a big announcement around Cardano and IBC. Yatsui, the founder of Animoca Brands, and many more. So definitely it's something you should not miss out. And if you want discounted tickets, you can go here, click on late admission, and then you fill that out and you enter the coupon code DORAVERSE, and you're going to get a nice discount. So check that out as well, and I'm going to see you in Dubai in less than 3 weeks. Now, in the recent weeks, I talked a lot about Uptober, a lot about Launchtober as well, because a lot of these projects that have been holding back their token launches or mainnet launches are now one by one coming out. And the latest one is the Eigen token, EigenLayer, an Ethereum restaking protocol that has been highly anticipated, launched at a $6 billion valuation, $700 million trading volume, and has a TVL of over 11 billion US dollars. Now I guess it's all eyes on the creation of the AVS ecosystem, basically networks that are secured by restaked EigenLayer ETH, because that's going to showcase and demonstrate the kind of demand side of things. And that is only now possible with the unlock of the Eigen token, which unlocks also this shared security feature and participation across the network. So what this means now is that developers can now build AVSs, which is short for actively validated services, basically a network that is secured by restaked ETH, using the Eigen staking feature and the Eigen token also to manage and set up those things. There's a full explainer on how that all works, what are the next steps, and I guess also a lot of people are now waiting for the points distribution, aka the airdrop. So we're going to see how that will be distributed. But this has been one of the most highly anticipated launches in crypto overall. And later in this video, I have at least 3 projects, all made in Cosmos, that are also about to launch their token. And if we look at the general market today, we can see everything is red. And actually yesterday we have seen a major crash, double digits in the reds for most altcoins. Bitcoin also went from 66 to now 61, even below 61. And that is due to the geopolitical uncertainties, this escalating tensions and war between Iran and Israel. That is obviously always something that is going to keep the economy down, cause massive overreactions also on high-risk assets like cryptocurrencies. But yeah, pretty much every asset class is going to be affected. On the other hand, we're seeing more and more positive legislation around cryptocurrencies. Ohio Senator Niraj Antani, who has now introduced a bill to allow state and local taxes to be paid with Bitcoin and crypto. And then we also have Bitwise applying for a Ripple spot ETF, a Ripple XRP spot ETF. And XRP could actually be next in line after Ripple has also won their court case against the SEC. Maybe we also have a Solana ETF approved in the midterm, but we'll see where this is going. Looking into the Interchain, we have everything down bad today, double digits, as a reaction to yesterday's events. But also we have seen wrecked timber actually being up timber. Especially the last 2 weeks in September have been quite bullish. So a lot of this is also now coming down to levels that have been around in kind of early September. So this is not really a crash, more like a consolidation. And obviously that's also packed to the kind of situation in the Middle East. If that escalates further, I guess we'll see more more crashes on the markets and also risk on assets like crypto. And if not, which I hope is going to be the case, primarily for the people that live in those regions. We also have, by the way, a team member here at Cryptocito who lives in Lebanon and his entire family. So yeah, and it's very sad to hear what they have to go through and how this affects their life. So let's hope that this does not escalate any further in the Middle East. Now, I want to share this tweet here from Magmar from Skip Protocol, who is putting things into perspective. Because I think a lot of people now that are in crypto, that see Solana, that hear about Solana, they believe that it's always been obvious, it's always been the case that Solana was going to win, Solana was going to go to a $70 billion valuation and have all this hype, have all these amazing, huge events. But there was a time not too long ago, to be honest, actually 2 years ago, when Solana was below $10, the community was struggling, there was nothing going on. I literally remember listening also to an interview from Anatoly. Toli, I think it was on the Bankless podcast, where Toli was saying that during this period, during this time, he was thinking to himself, oh, this is how failing feels like. And I think this is very, very important to understand how fast things can go both ways, of course. In Solana's case, they went from being almost written off, where some of the best projects have also left the ecosystem and wanted to dissociate themselves from the Solana brand. But they managed to pull through Mert, Ansem, obviously Toli and the core engineering team, the Solana Foundation, super team, which I think also played a huge role in Solana's huge comeback and major run. So they all pulled it together, and now it's exact opposite, right? Everybody wants to be Solana aligned. But Magmar is saying this in the context of Cosmos, because this is where Cosmos is right now. But then if you look at individual projects and what they're shipping, what they're delivering, that's also the mission that I have here on Cryptocito and my research team, is to also illustrate and showcase the vastness and the diversity of the Cosmos ecosystem being tailored to products and verticals. That's also the whole purpose of Cosmoverse this year. And yeah, one of them is Thorchain, right? We talked about Thorchain a lot, well before they even had IBC on their roadmap. Now, IBC and Wasm is going to come with a V50 upgrade. When exactly that's going to happen, I don't actually know, but I think it's not that far away. And when that launches, they will also have the launch of the Ruji app layer and also Levana's perp dexes that will be deployed. This is all being done, as far as I understand, by Jack Zampolin's Strangelove. So they are obviously one of the best teams when it comes to IBC. Jack himself has been a core IBC engineer for many years and has contributed also to the launch of IBC itself. And Thorchain is now aggressively integrating all those features and also integrating more wallets and more applications. He's also saying that Cosmos plus Wasm plus IBC, seriously the best interoperable decentralized state machine technology. EVM plus L2s are kidding themselves. The only thing he would exclude is the governance module, which is a cancer that should be cut out to let this stack thrive. And my personal take on this, to be honest, the governance part, is that people don't actually hate the governance module, but they hate what people make out of it. And it always ends up in drama and escalation because it gets political. People are taking sides. There's different camps. There's people making stuff up about others and all this kind of things. JP, also one of the hardest working in the industry. Both JPs, the Thorchain JP and the Mantra JP. And also teasing here that they're probably going to acquire more Terra applications. Terra Station Wallet, Enterprise DAO, and Alliance Hub are all for sale because Terra also went through this legal process and got pretty much dismantled by the SEC, if I understood this correctly. So they kind of have to sunset all of this or sell it. And JP is lined up to absorb and acquire all of these product, it sounds. Levana also going to launch very soon. That's also going to be very interesting. They made an announcement here announcing Ruji Perps, which is going to launch on Thorchain as well. And then we also have major news from Babylon. Bitcoin staking, they're announcing the raise of their caps. And last time the cap was 1,000 Bitcoin, which is around $60 million. Now the cap is not limited to an amount, but to blocks, right? So now it is going to be 10 blocks, and whichever amount of BTC fits into that is going to be the cap, right? So it's now time-based, and yeah, there's also a way, obviously, how you can farm these points, and the maximum that you can put in is 0.5 BTC, minimum 0.005. And with Cryptocito, obviously, we're one of the finality providers, so get your BTC ready and then stake with Cryptocito on Babylon. This is all happening on October 9th, which is 1 week from today. Another major upgrade we have from the Cosmos Hub itself, finally happening today actually, the launch of V20, which is going to bring permissionless interchain security and also inactive validators that can now secure those new consumer chains. We know Crypto Dungeon is just eagerly waiting for this to be live, and I think Crypto Dungeon will be first in line to use that feature. Then a recap from Osmosis, the best DEX in all of crypto, in my opinion, and it keeps getting better. Here's a full-on recap on what they have achieved in September. Also the V26 software upgrade that went live with a taker-free revenue share and also a Cosmos SDK upgrade. The revenue share is one of many revenue sources that Osmosis now has, trying to get away also from inflationary incentives for validators and stakers. A lot of partnerships and integrations. Here one with ICP that is, by the way, also going to be at Cosmoverse, the Omnity team as well. CoinGecko integrating Alloyed assets and a lot more. So definitely keep an eye on Osmosis. I think still one of the best DEXs in all of crypto and poised to make a huge comeback, especially with the launch now also of Polaris that is around the corner. If you prefer reading over listening or watching videos, then I strongly recommend you to bookmark the Cito Zone Twitter account, where we're sharing now the Interchain news report highlights on a weekly basis. We covered here the Celestia $100 million raise, and those are some of the things where you need to be super active and also take immediate action, because the Saga Airdrop is now closed, by the way. We're going to talk about this later. Babylon increasing the caps, which I just talked about. Also, Kudos joining the ASI Alliance. That is also very exciting, and a lot more. Speaking about Saga, they have this flagship game lined up, which is called Angelic. And Angelic just had an exclusive reveal of their open alpha. I think overall the strategy from Saga is very smart, because they're actually focusing on Web2 gaming developers and builders, and also the gaming community, right? And I think this makes a lot of sense for Saga to be positioned in that space. That's also why they always go to Gamescom in Cologne every year and have a huge exposure there at those types of events. I think overall Saga is not necessarily making it all about being blockchain and trying to sell that like Web3 and all these kind of new buzzwords, but more so about speaking the language of their target audience and also convince them by just having better features, more throughput, easier to deploy, and all those kind of things. Then we have some news from dYdX. We have dYdX Unlimited around the corner. dYdX is also going to have a full day at Cosmoverse. They're also the App Chains track lead. So Charles and the dYdX Foundation team are going to be all in on Cosmoverse this year. And dYdX, they have a big upgrade coming up called dYdX Unlimited. That's going to bring a lot of cool features like permissionless listing, mega vaults, also ways for you to earn more yield. And they also just now implement a feature where you can see your trade history. This is just another feature for traders to make it easier. And dYdX is also right now in the process of migrating entirely from V3 to V4, which means sunsetting their services on Ethereum entirely and focusing entirely on Cosmos from here onwards. Then some exciting news for Injective Ninjas. Injective, also one of the most OG Cosmos chains there is. INJ 3.0, which would make INJ the most deflationary asset in all of crypto. I don't know exact details on how that's going to look like, but definitely something to keep a close eye on. IBC itself also getting better and better. I reported earlier on JP's comments that IBC is kind of the best interoperability standard. Now there's a new release that features multi-token transfers that improves the UX and also increases composability between chains and unlocks new use cases. So IBC gets better and better, more integrations, more volumes, better UX, better UI. I think at this point, the entire crypto market should probably just rally behind IBC. And we actually have two quite big announcements, I would say, at Cosmos this year with regards to IBC adoption. Sane Network, another Cosmos Layer 1 blockchain. We did a full-on tokenomics guide on the Say token, which is now also live on the Cito.zone website. So if you want to know everything about the Say token, unlocks, utility, the distribution, potential sell pressure, and all these kind of things, then I strongly recommend you to read that report. It will definitely help you to get a much better feeling about the Say token. Now, finishing up with airdrops, we have a couple of airdrops. Number one, the Saga airdrop, and like I said earlier, the claim is now closed, so you cannot claim Vault 5, which is the 6th Saga airdrop already, and these tokens will be distributed on October 8th. So come Monday, we're going to get those tokens, Monday or Tuesday, we're going to get those tokens, and I'm very, very excited for that one. Then we also have Namada. Pre-Genesis Stage 2 is underway, and those are some big news, because you can now stake your NAM tokens prior to mainnet launch. We had a similar thing that we could do at Penumbra with your tokens. And big shout out to Kintsugi Validator, because they have built a front end where you can do that easily. You can just come here. I'm going to leave the link below the video. You connect your Namada extension. Then you need to change your chain ID. There's also an explainer how to do that. And then you can stake your NAM tokens. You can stake obviously with Stakecito, we're one of the validators. Also maybe stake with Kintsugi for building that tool. And yeah, that's all about Namada. I think they're going to launch very, very soon. Another launch that's very, very soon is Initia. I think they've been waiting for this tweet, and we're eager to put that out with 69% initializing mainnet. We're almost there. We talked about the fundraiser in the last video. We talked about, Jenny, leveling up Jenny and potentially getting an airdrop for that. So Initia definitely also one that's highly, highly anticipated and will probably also launch at a multi-billion-dollar FDV. Lastly, also, if you're coming to Cosmoverse and already have your ticket, then you can also claim your Afterparty pass for the Mantra Afterparty, the official Cosmoverse Afterparty, which is going to take place on the 23rd of October here in Dubai at the Monkey Bar, which is a very nice bar right next to the Museum of the Future at the 25 Hours Hotel, which is also, by the way, the venue where we're hosting our Hackmas Hackathon just 2 days after the Afterparty. Finally, some alpha, if you're a Bad Kids holder, reach out to AES Monty because he's giving you early access to something that has to do with range. So they're launching at range. Reach out to Monty, show him that you have your Bad Kids, and then you'll get early access there. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys very soon here on the channel and hopefully in person at Cosmoverse in 18 days. Until then, stay safe and be good.